Hello, and welcome to the Tavern Chat podcast. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. Today is Monday, October 21st, and I bring that up because I was watching Monday Night Football. It's halftime. Jets versus Patriots. I am not a Patriots fan. I am a long-suffering Jets fan, and oh my God, this game is what I would call suffering. And then again, they also premiered the final trailer for the next Star Wars movie. Since I really haven't liked Star Wars since the original trilogy, which is episodes 4 through 6. And I'm not saying I haven't watched the others, just haven't. Hasn't been my cup of tea, just like the latest Star Trek movies have not been my cup of tea. So I didn't really watch the trailer, but I did have to run over and turn the volume down in the other room because I realized it might bleed over into this podcast when they were running it. And that might have gotten a reaction. Who knows? So, what am I going to talk about today? Well, I was going to touch on Call of Cthulhu and horror gaming, since we do have Halloween sneaking up in a week and a half. Now, I'll be at Game Hole, so I won't be the one home giving out treats to the kiddies and such. But I was thinking about horror RPGs, and I don't think I'm going to get a chance to run it or run any before Game Hole. But maybe I'll put a little twist on my adventure that I started running at the ShireCon. Maybe I'll put more of a horror twist in it. Yeah, maybe I will. I'll be right back with some further thoughts on that. So, Demonic Dungeon of the Bone Dreamer. It really wasn't played up as a horror adventure at ShireCon. I think I can put some horror aspects into it, maybe even add a mechanic. Because I'll be running this on Friday and Saturday, so it'll be November 1st and 2nd, so right after Halloween. Just an idea, because as much as I've liked Call of Cthulhu, especially at least reading the adventures and thinking how they would play out from the Game Master side of the screen, I have personally found that the groups that I've been part of, at least in the past, although on a conceptual level, the idea of playing Call of Cthulhu was like, cool! Man, we're going to play in the world of H.P. Lovecraft. We're going to get to shoot shit and go insane. But the reality is, from, again, my perspective, maybe your experience is different, but trying to get a campaign, a horror campaign, especially one with the Call of Cthulhu rules, is difficult. Now, could you do so within the fantasy framework, maybe like a D20? And I'm not talking Ravenloft. Ravenloft is not horror. And I guess I should say there's different types of horror. I like the psychological. The Call of Cthulhu type of horror I do like, because it's psychological, it's in the mind, and it plays with you. I don't like the shock horror, the 1980s Carpenter films type of horror with blood everywhere and decapitated corpses and all that shit. That's not, shock horror is not my style. But although campy horror, and I think that Ravenloft is certainly campy horror, has its place, I don't think it gives itself to long-term play. At the same time, I don't think Call of Cthulhu gives itself to long-term play, or at least not campaign play. I do remember back in my college days when we would come around Halloween, I would try to run something that was kind of themed for Halloween. I ran Call of Cthulhu one year. Nobody made it to the end of the adventure. They were all dead. And I don't think that is Call of Cthulhu is almost to some extent running a raggy adventure with less disturbing art and with probably better writing. I mean, in theory, the players have a chance to survive in Call of Cthulhu, but it usually entails running away before they go mad. But I also ran Ravenloft. Now, like I said, I don't generally like Ravenloft because it is campy. Oh God, what was the name of the adventure in Ravenloft? It's the one with the puppets. It's a takeoff of the Pinocchio idea, the myth, the legend. And it was a one shot. My players got transported in, and then they got transported out. That's one reason why I think that the early Ravenloft setting kind of worked. It's because you could do it as a one shot within your campaign and then let your players go back to their, I don't know, normal reality. But you're trying to run a campaign and a horror level is very difficult because it is, generally depressing. I think that's the reason why settings like Midnight in the third edition rules, of the third party third edition setting, I liked it. It was like Lord of the Rings, where the Fellowship, the good guys, all lost. So there's a lot going for it. But then against that kind of oppression, it was an interesting setting. It probably would have made a more interesting series of novels than a gaming setting because, again, your players were dug so deep hole. It was hard for them to get anywhere. And that can work on a short story arc, maybe 2 or 3 sessions. It can certainly work in a convention game. But an ongoing campaign, your players need to have attainable goals. And sure, they can fight evil, but it should be a fight that they feel at some level they can win. And Call of Cthulhu and Midnight, that wasn't going to happen. And even Ravenloft, although I call it campy, Ravenloft is a depressing setting, especially for characters that are truly made to be coming from that setting. They aren't transported in with the idea they're going to be able to transport out and save themselves. They're stuck in that shithole. They were born there. They're going to die there. They're not going to change the world. And that sucks. In any case, just some random thoughts on horror gaming as we go into we're closer to Halloween, as we're ass deep in Halloween season. Sorry, I'm so depressed about the Jets. I didn't expect the close game. I expect the Jets to score something. Oh my God. I know, you don't want to hear my football shit. I'm just a fan. Folks, as always, thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it. I've gotten a number of direct messages and emails and comments on Facebook and MeWe from listeners who enjoy this, and I'm really glad. It's the reason why I do this. We're well over 500 episodes daily, and I'm glad you take enjoyment from it. I like it. I enjoy it. I wouldn't be doing it otherwise. All right. On that note, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice. And I will talk with you all tomorrow. Later, folks.